All right. Hello, everyone. So I'm Dmitry, and I come from Europe, from a small country called Belarus. We are an agency that does influencer marketing, and today the speech will be dedicated to how to work with those YouTubers and vloggers all over the world according to their regional specifics, because there is some, and you would really love to know it. So, talking about influencer marketing, not much. I believe everybody understands what is that about. So the concept is that the consumers are trusting some influencers, some opinion leaders. So that's why this is the place where a lot of advertising money goes in right now. So we are trying to help mobile app developers to gain most of their advertising efforts in this area. So we are covering the work with influencers from all over 70 countries, and the database, which is like real fast party database about the social demographic composition of the channels, counts over 30,000 channels right now. Well, and we've been helping some big names like NetEase and Nerdius, and also Pixonic, who've been talking, and Alexander, good speech, thank you. So the team counts over 14 people right now, and they speak 9 languages, and I'll tell you why. So we mostly work with the YouTubers, but we've also did some campaigns on Instagram, on Vkontakte, which is the largest Russian speaking network. We did some cases on Twitter and on Telegram. Well, I'll go right away to Tier 1 countries because this is where the most money goes to and the most money comes from. So the amount of channels is really huge. I mean, almost 20,000 channels dedicated almost to anything. So you can find almost everything you want, from some specific topics to common ones. And that's why if you have this ability to choose, to understand what the channel is about, what kind of people watch it, you can do some great media plans which will help you get the most out of those placements. Well, so that's why we can even, try to target specific target audience groups like men 25 plus or female 35 plus. So the most not expensive, like the most normal price goes for men 25 plus. Because usually the channels that have this audience, they do not fit under brand safety content rules, for example, or they have some strong language in there, so that's why they are not being able to monetize themselves by AdSense, which leads them the only path to go to large advertisers who are normal with the way the channel is being performed. So that's why quite good CPM there. As for the women 25 plus, so beauty channels like celebrities and fitness bloggers, all that stuff in there. And these channels have YouTube monetization, so they also have large contracts for some long-term relationship. That's why they might cost higher than, for example, the men 25 plus channel. Well, you can also find some mix of genders and of age groups, but also you can find this rare breed like women 35 plus, which are usually a target audience for some social game casinos or for some match 3 and casual games as well. You can find them on YouTube. So the prices, they usually depend on many things. Whether there is monetization from AdSense or not, is that influencer well known or not? I mean, is he being handled by some talent management agency or not? And so then the number of subscribers and the topic of the channel is also kind of important, but it's not like always the primary thing to consider. For example, there is another interesting thing for you to know, that there are some channels held by British guys, so they usually cost more for some reason, but the amount of audience that is present there is mostly from American origin. So this is kind of weird things. As for the negotiations, well, usually working with the YouTubers from, for example, from the United States, very formal guys, they would love to have contract signing, so they require a deposit to be done, so nothing done before the prepayment is being received. Well, the performance funneled here, I'm talking about the amount of efforts you're going to invest into contacting a particular YouTuber, because you will send out like 1,000 emails and you'll just get like 20 corporations. I mean, a flight full of 20 YouTubers, but in order to reach that, you have to send out over 1,000 emails. So this is the conversion rate that we've been experiencing, and damn, this is hard. So, well, the thing is, it's not so easy to change anything, I mean, content-wise, once the video has been shot. So you have to be very wise in signing an agreement with the T1 YouTubers, because you will not change anything. So think twice. I mean, do very good brief in order to receive a nice integration. So things to consider. Some people will just get sick, their dog will get sick, and their mom will go into hospital. So all those excuses, we have seen them all. So some YouTubers, they usually take a long time to shoot, and so you have to consider that they will be available like after 4 weeks after your initial agreement with them, so just plan in advance. But if they decide to shift, the second time, guys, this is a bad sign. Do not work with that influencer. You will not receive anything from him. But be, okay with people who are not doing the things they promised to do, because if you start to do out a big scandal with them, well, this will not play well for you in the community. The community is quite a strong thing here. Well, and of course, you need to be checking out the composition of the channel in order to forecast the results of the integration with that channel, because we had things happening to us when the YouTuber, he sends you a screenshot of his social demographic page on YouTube, and it says, well, 95% like T1 countries, English-speaking people there. We do the integration with him, and as a result, we see 90% of Indian traffic. So it was fraud, so the guy, he just photoshopped the thing for us, the screenshot, and that's why we got scammed. Nowadays we have this real-time access, and it's very hard to scam us. As for the rates, so the things for you to probably do a photo, for some particular titles, for strategies, for shooters, for MMOs, for match 3, so we can even forecast the CPIs, which is quite accurate forecast. On top of the numbers that you will see in like the tracker link that brought you this number of installs, on top of that you can add up to 70% of installs that will usually go to organic. Let's go to Latin America, very interesting region, because the guys here, well, they also have a huge number of channels. Major part of them belongs to Brazil. So that's why, like, Spanish-speaking and Portuguese-speaking people there. So you can even grab some Spanish audience if you work, for example, with Mexican YouTubers. But, well, it's a good plus. As for the audience and rates, they love to watch, but they don't have that much money. So, I mean, if you're doing a soft launch, you need to understand whether your game performs in terms of revenue from the ads. All right, so this is good region to get some user acquisition, to do some user acquisition. Well, they do not work with any talent management agencies, so that's why the prices are very loyal, very responsive because they want money. Well, sometimes they also, try to switch the deadlines, but in most cases, they're very interested in cooperation, so they will do like more than you are expecting from that YouTuber. And they also work very quick, so do not like plan in advance like 3-4 weeks from now. Well, in most cases, all devices on Android. As I said, once again, not that much revenue out of those placements. As for the rates, so very high CTR, so very low CPI. Well, the country that we started from, Russia, and the community of independent states where Russian language is kind of popular. So not that big number of channels, but the industry is on a very high growth right now. Like popular TV personas and large media holdings, they all go into YouTube and they do the channels there. So they create nice content, lots of TV viewers. They switch to YouTube viewing right now. So that's why they have this high-paying audience in there, and not so many talent management agencies so far, so that's why the prices are quite good. But you have to be speaking Russian in order to do some deals there. That's the only problem, because just 7% of the whole population speaks English. Well, no contracts. The money is being sent the way, well, the legal authorities will not see it, so that's why you have to be also, tricky about that. So web money, bank cards, direct payments, all that stuff, and you have to speak Russian not to agree all that. As for recommendations, well, you have to be very, very precise about what you want to see. However, the creative side, we have seen some good examples with the creative side coming from the influencers. Well, but usually, yeah, a good script will help them do their best. As for the rates, quite good rates for strategies, well, also for shooters. As for MMOs, well, not that low. And Europe, there are very interesting countries in there in terms of planning some soft launches, and you would love to understand whether influencer marketing will help you. As for France, 3,500 channels, well, lots of topics in there. What is important? They speak French, and you have to speak French too. Well, if you just send them an email in English, well, 1 out of 20 will get back to you. Otherwise, you have to redo your email. They do sign contracts. They want money paid in an official way. However, they're very flexible as well. And well, the audience, what is good? The audience that you cover is usually from France or from a small part of Belgium. So that's why very good to do like a focused soft launch with a particular channel. Germany, well, really nice, very formal country to work with, really nice results. I mean, this is very comparable to Tier 1 countries. The CPM is also very high because Germans, they love to pay taxes, and that's why you will have to love to pay taxes too. So the audience is quite young, so they love to play games, and we advise to try out that market. The communication is also in German, so that's why we have people who speak 9 languages on our team. They do prefer contracts, very formal, but very once they promise, they will deliver. Netherlands, great country to do soft launches because also very low CPM. The audience is young, so they pay and they play a lot. And what is good? I mean, these markets are so small that if you do like a placement with the top 10, top 15 YouTubers there, you will get to you will just skyrocket to the tops of the relevant app stores in there, because the coverage that they will give you and the number of downloads that you will get once your title is quite new to the audience, you will just see it. So lots of organic will be expecting for you there. Well, very close community of photos, so no scandals, please. Just they do creative content, so I think you will love to work with them. Japan, as a bonus, because Asian markets have been they have been quite difficult for us to understand and to work with. However, we did approach them. So very specific content in there. And that's why you have to have some Japanese contacts on that side to explain to you what is all this about. Well, and to also work directly with the agencies, because the agencies, they dominate the market there. So, and that's why if you are like a foreigner and they understand that you're a foreigner, you will be charged twice as high as the normal price would be. Only contracts, just payments to Japanese banks, and Japanese banks sometimes have difficulties with the European banks, so lots of formalities to do, and that's why Japanese speak is very important. Well, we also did some campaigns in Turkey, in Poland, we have things about Northern Europe and Italy, but well, that's pretty much it for now, and that's why you're welcome to ask any questions if you have. Yeah, please.
Do you do crypto games already, or do you plan to?
Well, crypto. This has been the most popular question so far during this conference. No, we have not done anything with crypto, but we would love to talk. Probably. You never know. The thing is that YouTubers, they love the audience that they've been gathering around their channels for the time being. So that's why there are certain types of influencers who will like do anything, and there are certain types of influencers who are very strict about what kind of content they would love to advertise on their channels. So it's always lots of time management in order to find out the YouTubers that fit the advertiser, and also the advertiser fits them. That's it. Yeah, so anything else? All right, guys, so I hope, yeah?
One question. Those channels, 5,100 and 800, like, are those channels influencer channels?
Yeah, so all in all, we have been touching a database of over 100,000 YouTube channels, and I'm talking about the channels who have over 30K subscribers. So this is what we've been seeing so far. And given the amount of attention from large media holdings and from let's say the population who wants to become YouTubers and vloggers, so these numbers will be rising.
Yeah, and my question, do you connect them directly? Do you speak with them?
Yeah, we do. In most of the cases, we do that directly. If a channel has its own like talent management agency behind them, so we'll talk to them. But for example, in Russia, at times there is a guy who has this talent management agency behind him, but he does direct deals as well. So it's always worth talking directly. You're welcome.
Do you guys have experience? We do kids games, so I'm curious if you guys have experience working with like moms and mom influencers.
All right. Well, this is kind of not. It's not that popular audience, and it also because of these child protection acts. So it's very sensitive thing to do, but. We can definitely talk about it in more details. I mean, in terms, if you have like specific campaign in mind, we can talk about it, because it's usually we just upload some channels that might be interesting for you. But then again, we can just take it out. We do have those channels in the database, but it's not been a popular request so far.
Of course.